ABC's The Bachelorette just premiered this week, finished wrapping with our Texas girl, Dallas attorney Rachel Lindsay, and who better to get all the scoop and maybe even find out who wins? Reality Steve is with us today. What's up, Steve?
How you doing?
I'm good. We're excited you're here.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. This is a biannual thing for us now.
What'd you call me?
It is biannual. That's twice a year, right?
Steven, if I may. In the history of the Bachelorette franchise, this is a big deal. We have never seen a black lead, and here we are. Our girl, Dallas attorney Rachel Lindsay, is the stunning centerpiece of the show. Talk about her.
34 seasons in. It only took them 15 years, 34 seasons to finally have our first black lead. Mm-hmm. And Rachel does a very good job. I think she's very well liked by the public, which is huge going into this franchise. She got to Final 3 with Nick last season. He dumped her. She had a sob story, and that's what they bank on. And, you know, it's one of these things where you just don't even look at race. When the season starts and when you start watching the episode and as you've seen it, race doesn't even play a factor, at least right now.
Okay. Ooh, there's a tease right there.
Yeah.
Okay, so was any time spent here in Dallas?
Yeah, there was a little bit of time. After she got to her Final Four, she visited all four guys' hometown dates. The actual Final Four rose ceremony was here at the Hilton Anatole in Dallas. And then
I could see Steve scaling the windows of the Anatole, like sneaking in.
I don't want to say I did that, but I did have pictures from that night that were posted on my site and on my Twitter account. But after she eliminated a guy at the Final Four, the final three guys then all met her family at a, shall we say, rented house in the Highland Park area because Rachel's father is a federal judge and they weren't going to use the family's house anywhere on camera.
Got it.
So,
okay, so they were in a fake home.
They were in a fake home pretending it was Rachel's home.
There's fake things in reality TV? Reality Steve?
There's fake things in Dallas? No way.
Across the board. Shocking.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the cast because you've seen the first episode.
Yes, I have. This is the most cast members that I can remember in recent memory. We've got 31 guys on Rachel's season. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I might be off by one or two here, but it's like 14 or 15 are non-white guys, which is huge for this franchise because before this season, I think the most non-white people that had ever been cast was like 8. So they almost doubled that this year.
Great.
And I don't think race is going to play an issue at all. I don't want to make it seem that way. But I'm sure later on the season, there will be comments made. There will be some, I don't want to say race baiting, but when you have this and they know that this is a major storyline, they have to play off it. And it will come up at some point this season.
Based on what we saw Monday night, of the 23 men that are still remaining, any hopefuls that you see emerging?
I think you really have to look at Brian because he's the only guy that she made out with twice. And when you've got 31 guys and you single out the same guy twice and have a really steamy makeout session with him, it's kind of obvious that he's a front runner. You've got also a guy named Peter from Wisconsin. He presented her with some chocolate, even though she said, I don't like chocolate. So that kind of backfired on him. But then right after he presented her with chocolate that she doesn't like, a shooting star happens, or at least he thinks it's a shooting star. And oh my gosh, it's just like love at first sight, whatever. So you've got, Brian and Peter are definitely favorites this season. A guy like Josiah, who is a prosecutor himself. He's in Florida, really funny guy, had some great one-liners on Monday night. He's a guy that's one to watch for this season. Another guy to look forward to is Dean, because Dean, we remember from the After the Final Rose when Rachel met 4 of her guys very early, Dean says, I'm ready to go black and I'm never going to go back. The thing about Dean is when he got out of the limo, 2 nights later in real time, he didn't know if that line went over well with Rachel, but as we saw, Rachel was fine with it. She actually loved it. So I think Dean is someone to keep an eye on as well. And let's just say, if Dean doesn't end up winning this thing, you can 100% guarantee that we will see him on Bachelor in Paradise this summer.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Spoiler alert. We want to know who the final 4 of the Bachelorette season are. And I believe you know.
Oh, I know.
Oh, wow, you do.
That's why I'm here.
You ready to reveal?
I am.
Okay.
Ready? Okay.
In no particular order, who are the final 4 of the Bachelorette?
In no particular order. Our final 4 this season are Dean Unglert. We've got Dr. Brian Abasolo. I don't know how to pronounce that last name.
He probably doesn't.
He's
either.
Colombian, though.
Okay.
We've got Peter Krause, and we've got Eric Bigger.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Those are our 4. Very diverse.
Yes.
Okay. Who wins? this season of The Bachelorette?
It comes down to Rachel and Peter Krause are happily engaged.
The Wisconsin guy?
The
guy, the chocolate guy?
Gave her chocolate. She didn't like it, but then 2 months later, he's down on his knees proposing.
Wow.
Love is in the air. It's just throw magic fairy dust in the air for everybody.
I see it up there. Okay. You
Was...
also revealed something else. Don't yada 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 over the fact that they are engaged right now.
Yes, they're engaged. How about that?
All right.
That's what we expect on the show. I think one thing to also expect from this season, Rachel Lindsay is not leaving Dallas.
Yeah.
So Peter Krause, assuming they work out in the end, will be coming to Dallas.
Peter Krause, by the way, you live in Wisconsin.
Yeah, you want to live in Dallas.
We're talking upgrade for you. Big time. You got to leave the Packers behind. You have to become a Cowboys fan. That's our only law to let you in the state. Peter, how old is Peter?
I want to say like 30, 31.
Okay, just probably a couple years younger than her. She's 34.
No, she's 31, I think.
4. Oh.
I
know something that you don't know?
Her birthday was during filming.
She's 34. You want to fact check
She turned 34?
It's 34. Fact check it.
Let's fact check that.
Let's play STUMP reality.
I know her birthday happened during filming. I want to say she turned 32.
34. Filming. Is that your final answer? Shake on it?
Yeah, we'll shake on it. I don't think she's 34. I think she's 32. What do we got?
Breaking news. Rachel Lindsay is indeed 32, not 34. I was wrong. You were right.
Reality Steve right again. How about that?
Well, go figure. I won't minor in the majors anymore.
Yeah.
I know my lane. I'll stay right here. Let's talk about my favorite part of the Bachelor and Bachelorette seasons, the ring.
Oh.
It's expensive. Who provides that?
That would be Neil Lane, who shows up every final episode and gets his assortment of rings out there. The cool thing is, they get a ring for free, and past seasons we've had rings $90,000, $95,000.
Wow, so there's no budget, no limits?
No, because Neil Lane just gets free advertising for it.
So you can have like a $100,000 ring.
Just for being engaged on the show. However,
what?
If you break up anytime within 2 years of your finale, you have to give the ring back.
Oh. Give it back to who? Neil Lane?
Neil Lane, and then just throws it back into his assortment and sells it on his own, store or online, whatever the case may be.
You have to stay together for 2 years.
To keep the ring, yes.
Oh my gosh.
If you break up after 2 years, you can then sell the ring as a couple and make money off it. But if you break up
as a couple,
that first
we break up, mister. Hit the road, Jack.
Yeah.
Possession is 9/10 of the law.
Oh, yeah.
So Lauren and Ben just broke up.
Yeah.
About a year they've been together, is that right?
Right around a year, because he was the Bachelor, ended his season in March, and they just broke up in May,
So the ring, bye-bye.
Gotta give it back. That's a $95,000 ring, I believe, that's gotta go right back into Neil Lane's assortment of rings.
If she just held on for 12 more months, the ring was hers.
They could have sold it together, and, well, maybe not together, like you said.
Cut that guy right out of the deal. That's how bad she wanted out. She knew she could have had that ring, and she's like, keep your $100,000.
Yeah.
Reality Steve, you never disappoint. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Before you leave, though, sneak peek. In just a few weeks, Bachelor Paradise will start filming. What do you think? Any of Rachel's guys going to show up?
I can fully expect that we're going to see probably 8 to 10 of Rachel's guys on Paradise this season. Some of the names that I brought out earlier, again, spoiler alert, you're going to see guys like Lucas, Mr. Waboom guy. We've got Josiah. We've got maybe Will, maybe Kenny the wrestler. So I can expect you're going to see a lot of Rachel's guys on Paradise.
All right. If you want to follow Reality Steve, he's extremely active on Twitter. Also on your website, realitysteve.com, @realitysteve on Twitter.
Yes.
But this is a spoiler alert. We can hear you on a podcast, young man. Tell us about that.
You can listen to my podcasts on Apple Podcasts. I've interviewed a lot of former contestants over the past few months. I do one. It's released every Thursday. I've heard from Michelle Money, Claire Crawley, Charlene Joint, Courtney Robertson, some of the most notable characters from this franchise. They've been excellent with me, giving me a lot of good inside dirt. It's gone really well. We're almost at 2.5 million downloads since I started 6 months ago. So the fans seem to love it. They get to see a side of these people that is not an edited television side. It's like, this is who they are. And it's been great.
Yeah. Thanks again, Reality Steve. And we'll be catching up with you in the fall when The Bachelor premieres.
Correct. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Always good to see you, my friend.
Thank you.
Woohoo.